Let me download the program that keeps track of the time in the round.
I'm guessing Korey over here is like posting on Facebook, like got a feature match
watch
or
me
something.
on
Yeah.
ARG Live.
Yeah, I did that myself.
371 viewers. We're going up.
Man, we got like the same number of viewers as people in the tournament, practically.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, almost exactly the same.
Yep.
And did we get a confirmation on, is this the largest ARG event or second
it's
largest?
Not. I think we had like 400 at Worcester one time, but it's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean,
especially we've had a run of small events.
Sure.
Lately, so.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, this is about the size that you know, like a regional would be here. So
well, that is a timer. It's gigantic. And we're finally starting our feature match for round one, so there we go.
Alright, looks like Korey's going first.
He gets a Duelio. Goes with Mermelio. So how much of like the new cards do you know?
Less than I should know.
Do you know what this card does?
No.
It's unaffected by like trap hole or bottomless trap hole and stuff like that.
Seems good.
And when you normal summon it, you get a hole from your deck.
Sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do know what that does then.
Okay.
I just didn't recognize it by the art.
Yep. It's the new super rare from the new Astral Pack.
Yeah.
I think it's time space trap hole. That's a. It's kind of like Bombless, where your opponent summons like multiple monsters.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I've heard of that one.
At least I think that's the effect. Yep.
Well, seems like a pretty strong turn one.
It's really strong. With you know, September they changed it so turn player who goes first.
Yeah, of course I know that.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, he definitely made up for it with you know the turn one plus one. Yeah, that's what I noticed about a lot of the decks is that they can easily make up for the card disadvantage lost by going first. So people are still just, for the most part, going first every time. From what I understand, Shadows like to go second sometimes, but that's about it.
Okay. So he's playing Burning Abyss.
Yeah.
Do you know what those do?
I got a rough idea. I do know that Burning Abyss is the most popular deck here today.
Basically, all the monsters can special summon themselves.
Yeah.
If you have no spell or traps.
Right. And I know that Tour Guide's supposed to be pretty good in these decks.
Oh yeah, because you can search any of them.
Yeah. You know, I will say, I like the fact that Konami decided to print Burning Abyss cards. Not because of anything relating to what their mechanics are, but just because of the fact they're called Burning Abyss. I remember when I first started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! You had so many people that were like, you know, upset about some of the religious connotations of cards. They had to be a little careful about, you know, what they named things. I'm liking that we can just go straight to, like, you know, actual, like, burning in hell references, and no one, you know, bats an eye. To me, that's progress.
It's funny because I believe this is one of the sets that they ended up changing the most names in, actually.
Sure.
So it's kind of funny that...
What were they like, originally called?
Like, all the Shadals were based on, like... I forget what it's called. Like... I forget what it's called, but it's like some Jewish religion thing. So he goes into Dante. Oh, Virgil. My bad, the synchro.
Sure.
Discard a Burning Abyss. Bounce a card on the field to the deck, but it gets Time Space Traveled. It's something that Dominic knew Korey had because he
right,
it
of
off
course.
the Mermelio. So it could just be him playing around it.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes it's just better to just, instead of like trying to play around people's things forever, just sort of push through them.
Yep. Dominic decided to end his turn. So it's a big thing. A lot of Burning Abyss decks this weekend have started running only 6 traps.
Sure.
3 of the Burning Abyss trap and 3 Vanity's Emptiness. So
you know, no Wind Blast, no Karma Cuts?
Nope. Huh. They've been cutting down because of Denko Seka. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, you know what that does. Yeah, hard locks are pretty good in Yu-Gi-Oh! From what I hear. So yeah, I guess, I mean, that could be a good meta call. The main deck that plays that card is Shadows, right? Or is there another deck that plays it too?
Yeah, it's Shadows.
Yeah,
mostly.
okay.
Unless somebody decides to place it in something else. We'll see.
Sure. Apparently my mic is kind of loud, so...
Loud? Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're saying in the chat, so I just turned it down a little.
Blind MSTs.
Yeah.
Well, he hit the one set that turn, so it's kind of better.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like when they have 5 set, MSTing one usually doesn't like do a lot. You might want to like save it for maybe Vanity's Emptiness or something if you know the deck has that card.
Kind of. I feel like this is odd play from Dominic because he's setting a lot of stuff. And he had a tour guide. But I guess the back row is just really scary.
Yeah, I mean, at least Korey's not really like putting a lot of pressure on him. It seems like, so he's got time to figure out a strategy. Looks like Dominic just draw a snatch steal.
That card, I don't know. The card's just too good.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see really how many hidden armories we'll see today, because I do imagine most people will be playing snatch steal.
Yeah, same. I feel like that's one of those cards that people were like, it's pretty good, but a lot of the top players seem to disagree.
Sure.
MST. Hits MTS. That could be. Korey doesn't really special summon too much, but there's the Sanctum.
Yeah.
That's definitely what he wants. I mean, like that's his way to special summon in this deck besides Soul Charge.
So you think there's a reason to obviously he MST'd preemptively for a reason there.
Yeah. That's why I was debating.
What do you think that reason was?
I don't really.
I guess maybe if you had a Solemn Warning set or something, then you MST the warning before you activate your thing that special summons the guy. I don't know. I guess there's probably no reason not to MST preemptively.
Yeah.
I don't think there a lot of downsides.
Yeah, I was debating that myself. You could just chain it to MTS, but it's round one. People could be playing crazy tech cards. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's safe. There might, only be a 1% chance you get punished by not MSTing preemptively, but playing around that 1% is what separates the good players from the great players. And I'm not entirely sure what happened here, but Korey has a million things in play, so I'd have to assume he's in pretty good position.
Yep.
Alright, there's the snatch steal.
Yeah. Yeah, it runs over the moral attack. It's 100 more.
Yeah.
Korey gains 1,000.
That is correct.
I'll take your word for it, chat. Sometimes I forget the chat's behind.
Sure.
Yeah. Dominic's 64. All right. Guys, I know my life point game is not on point. We're gonna have later when people clear out and we have more space. We'll have a
was that like a
laptop.
Pun? My life point gain is not on point.
That was
like,
not, but that is hilarious.
Sure. That's gonna be my contribution to the commentary. I'm gonna point out all of the puns that you unintentionally make.
Sure, I accept it. So he should have taken. He should be at 23. Or no, I don't know. I'm just bad at math. I'll be right back. I'll go check. I was almost correct. He's at 89 now because of Snatch. Pleiades is a crazy card. I know certain Burning Abyss players are playing a lot of rank up Magic Astral Force so they can play more Pleiades.
Apparently, Pleiades text says "I win." A lot of cards in Yu-Gi-Oh seem to say that.
Basically. Okay, so he bounced the Myrmelio with Pleiades, so Dominic wouldn't be able to use Pleiades effect. Got taken tour guide. Warning.
That seems like a pretty good solemn warning.
Yeah, Korey takes the first game.
Alright, so do you know if there are any relevant sideboard cards in this matchup? Maybe like Dominic brings in some more Speller Trap. I saw him move a Raigeki to his pile.
I don't know.
So, I guess Raigeki's being boarded in.
Raigeki doesn't hit. Or it's not bad against Korey's deck, so.
And Raigeki seems like one of those cards where it seems like it's better against some of the more tier 2 decks. Whereas, I don't know, decks like Clickports and Shadows and Burning Abyss, they don't really care so much about Raigeki.
Correct, yeah.
They get Raigeki and they're just like, yeah, whatever.
Like, thanks. Yeah, I really don't know what Korey would be siding. Probably like regular stuff against Burning Abyss. He might play Chain Disappearance, that's a card.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like his deck's too Exceed dependent to play Stygian Dirge.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine, going into this event, he probably feels pretty prepared for Burning Abyss just in game 1, because...
Yep. Yeah.
It's the most popular deck. Clearly, Korey's trying to, metagame to some extent when you're, playing a deck like this. So, who knows? He might not put in much. Because the thing about sideboarding is it's not only about figuring out, you know, what cards in your board are good in the matchup. You also have to figure out what to take out, which is in some case the mistake that I think some players will make. They'll be, I want to bring in all these things. And, I don't
so people make the mistake of they only side like a monster for a monster, or
sure.
And sometimes you can.
Yeah, I just think that in general people overboard a lot more than they underboard.
Like I know stuff like Jeff Jones sides out stuff like Allure.
Sure.
Where you might think like, oh, it's important to the deck. It's consistent, but sometimes it's just a card.
Yeah.
It's a 2 for 2, so.
I don't know, see how things go. I imagine, going first will help Dominic out to some extent,
Oh, so that's neat. Korey's playing Monarch Stormforth, which is basically like a Soul Exchange.
Right, yeah, I do know what that card does. There's apparently not only for Monarchs.
Yeah.
I was,
were you lied to?
Huh?
Did someone tell you it was and they lied to you?
No, they didn't. Like, I was talking to some, local friends. They're all playing, like, Clipports or whatever, and they were siding, like, 3 of that card. Because, I guess they're kind of, like, tribute-oriented, too. And I guess they bring it in for the more grindy matchups. Who knows? Maybe it's, not a good decision, but they seem, pretty convinced that it was correct to bring that in a lot of matchups.
That is true. Jeff does say that.
Well, yeah, I have a funny story about Jeff Jones siding random cards to fill up 15 slots. There is a YCS, or maybe it was a Shonen that he went to, and he had Thought Ruler in his side deck, Thought Ruler Archfiend. And for this event, the judges didn't know that, like, you were allowed to side deck extra deck cards. This was, like, a week after they changed it. So, I remember he, like, got into, like, some arguing with the judges because, like, they were all convinced that he couldn't legally do it. And then, after a while, he finally convinced them that he could. But that's
pretty funny.
Yeah, it's. Like, I think for that event, this was like Lightsworn zombie format, I think.
Yep.
And he was playing like zombies, and I think it was just like, because I think this might have also been before you could play less than 15 cards in your side deck. So it's like you had to put something there.
So drop Maxi. Maxi's pretty good against Burnibus. You can you can chain it to them, special summon themselves.
Historically, Maxi has been very good against Tour Guide in particular.
Yeah,
definitely. It's one of those things, do I leave, both my guys there and only let him draw 1, or do I go into rank 3 and let him draw 2? I don't know. I guess he's deciding to leave them there. He does have back rows to protect them at least.
Yep.
Or maybe he will go into something, who knows? Seems to be thinking about it.
Duality. Diana, Maxi, and Curry Bandit. I feel like going for the Curry Bandit's too risky because you're wide open. And it doesn't look like he has too much back row in his hand. A lot of spells and monsters. I think the Maxi might be his best bet.
Yeah, I mean, he could just try to play that game. Just won't let you get value off your special summons. Yeah. I am noticing that he has, like, an all-monster hand and, of course, flipped over 3 monsters with his duality. He has, like, 1 spell, but I don't know. These decks seem like they're often a little more back row oriented.
He goes with the Maxi. I think that's the best option, definitely.
Sure.
Oh, it's Snatch Steal, yeah. Yeah, he has Majesty's Fiend. He just summons Dynea, attacks over Tour Guide, 700. Playing Foolish, he Foolish the Graph. Maxi.
Yeah. You think now he maybe tries to rank up? Because
I think he might. I guess he's just gonna sit on it. He drew a Artifact Ignition. He does have artifacts in his hand. I believe it's Snatch, Soul Charge, Ignition, Majesty's Fiend.
Yeah, you can definitely do a lot of things.
I think those are two artifacts face down.
Yeah, they are.
I guess he's going to tribute for the... Nope.
Yeah, Dominic, he does have a Wing Blast face down, right? Did we see that?
I do not remember.
I thought I saw him set that in one of the earlier turns. I could just, be completely mistaken, but if he summons the Majesty's Fiend, it probably just gets Wing Blasted.
Yep. So he destroyed the controller. Controller didn't activate. With Ignition, he set a Scythe.
Alright, I guess he's gonna
MST his own card.
Dude.
If those are both artifacts, yep. Is that Catechus? I don't really know which artifact that is. I know it's a Scythe. Yep, Catechus. I think. It's yellow. So Scythe says, during the turn, this is a special summon. Your opponent cannot Summon monsters from the X Direct this turn.
Oh, yeah, that seems pretty good.
Katie Kiss is each time an artifact monster special summon, draw a card. It's not that great. I assume he just runs it because it's a artifact.
Yeah. All right, you can never go wrong drawing cards in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
But I guess it might be kind of difficult to really go off with that guy.
Yeah. It's a decent wall, but it doesn't get around Dante. But they have trouble making Dante with Scythe, so I guess it all comes full circle. Interesting theory, RWK6.
Sorry, what was that? Oh, sure.
So he's going to make a Pleiades. Or something else.
I don't know, man. You can't ever doubt Korey McDuffie. Like, he may not be playing like one of the best 3 decks, but guy's a stone master.
That's not a Pleiades. That's that's the artifact one, I think. Oh. Yeah, Pleiades. Okay.
Yep.
I was really confused with what he was doing. Detach. What is he bouncing? The graph's effect is negated, so... Okay. He's bouncing a set. He didn't soul charge, so I think that's in his hand. Or maybe I'm just thinking things up.
No, I think we did.
No, he has snatch. That's it.
Oh, okay.
He's really thinking this through.
Yeah, I mean, he has a really big turn here.
Oh, no. Unless he wanted that to happen, I don't know. I figured he was going to snatch steal the graph and then summon Majesty's Fiend. Because the graph is negated, so it wouldn't destroy itself. $5K.
Alright, well, Korey seems to be up on board, cards, and life, right?
It was the Wing Blast that got bounced by the police. Dark.
So yeah, I guess I did notice he boarded in Raigeki, but I did not notice that he boarded in Tarkle. So that's...
He uses Pleiades effect to bounce himself to the hand.
Tarkle into a soul charge. That's
well, he can only summon 2.
Sure.
But it's the place that he can get after that.
He only has 23.
Yeah, so he's at 300. Well, I guess one thing about him being low in life is Korey playing an artifact deck. He can... Oh, he didn't bounce Pleiades. He didn't bounce... he already bounced that turn. I'm stupid. But what I was saying about him playing an artifact deck is he can just hopefully make a Volcasaurus and just win with that effect.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Are there any other burn effects that can make? Like, can it make a Gaga Gaga Gunman, or is that just not a card that people play?
I don't know if he runs it.
Sure.
It is a card that people play, but
what else is there? There's like
that's
Black
really
Ship Corn burns, right?
Yeah, if that's a dark.
Yeah.
He might play that. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
It's quite the deck. I really don't know what his extra looks like. Oh, Dianea. If he does play Cowboy, that would be game. But Dominic has a Wing Blast, so it's like Dianea. I guess he didn't have a Murmelio. I forget if he did or not. Yeah, that's a Wing Blast, yep. That really sucks. But I guess he gets the Dianea next turn, so if he doesn't lose. So Milk 3. Yeah, I agree. The Wing Blast was bad there. He should have just done it on whatever rank 4 was made.
Yeah. I don't know, is there a chance he maybe wanted to like make sure that Korey would redraw the card?
I don't think so.
Sure.
He just wants to game him this turn, but
Sure.
yeah. And he does, so like that's fine.
Yeah, I mean they're not gonna have much time going into game 3.
Yep. We're on a slightly different clock than the main. They're just gonna shuffle up quick. I don't think they're siding.
Yeah.
I don't think Dominic knows what to side.
I don't know. I mean, his side deck Dark Well seemed to work out pretty well.
Yeah, the Dark Hole, yeah.
But you know now Korey knows about it.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you see Dark Hole, you know there's a Raigeki there too.
Oh yeah.
And then just question of whether there's a second Dark Hole or not.
Yep. It's so crazy. Raigeki's at 1, Dark Hole's at 2.
Yeah.
It fits, but
I'm sure, like, you know, in 5 years we'll be talking about how, like, Graceful Charity's unplayable or something. There'll be, like, a deck that, like, uses its opponent's graveyard as a resource, so, like, no one plays Graceful Charity, because, like, you don't want... I mean...
allows you to play cards from your opponent's hand.
Yeah.
So you don't want your opponent to play your Graceful Charity.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying, like, if there's, like, something that let you play cards from your opponent's graveyard, you wouldn't want to discard, too.
Exactly. But no, then Dark World would come back.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. I don't know.
Or something. Or Burning Abyss.
Dark World would probably be like long out power creep by then.
Yep. By Burning Abyss. Maxi, that's pretty good. They only have 4.5 minutes, so.
Yeah, are the time procedures a little different at these events compared to your?
I believe we do the same thing.
Sure. Is it 3 turns then you
we do 5
draw? Or yeah, I meant 3 turns each.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it's higher life points, and if not.
Yeah. And you guys also allow intentional draws, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I play Magic, so I approve.
Yeah, that's generally the consensus we get.
Yeah.
So Korey went Beagle Tax, set, Cadicus. Oh, he really wants to go off next turn. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Eagle attack comes out, pops those two. Oh, moral attack. Maybe. Maybe.
Oh, and there's Dark Hole again. Yeah, it seems like the second time where Dark Hole's been like pretty insane.
Korey still got Maxi active though, so
yeah,
they basically forced the card and he got a draw out of it. Korey's not in a bad spot even after losing all those cards.
These people in the Twitch chat must be like stone masters, because they just seem to think that like every turn someone's misplaying. Like that's just all I see in the chat.
They have a lot of practice of saying it.
I mean, I'm not saying they're wrong. Like for all I know, they are misplaying every turn. I mean, Korey McDuffie probably doesn't misplay every turn. He's been on the Magic Pro Tour, so there's no way that he's making mistakes. I refuse to believe it.
I have somewhat more respect for him now. That's when he started. Because he's a magic.
Seems like a pretty even game state right now, but of course Korey's up on life, which could be the deciding factor here.
He's got Majesties, which okay, he killed a Rubik. Rubik's not really gonna. It's not affected by the Majesties because he doesn't get anything when it goes to the graveyard. Duality.
Night Beam seems pretty good with all these chainable cards that Abyss things can play. You don't have to say that he should take Night Beam, but it seems like a good card.
I like Night Beam.
Yeah.
The only thing is you can do the chain a different card than
the first card. Of course.
But that just forces them to play cards at that point. Curry Bandit, so he wants to set up.
No, he goes for the
Knife
options.
Beam. I'd say Knife Beam's a lot safer. And that should be time in the round.
Alright, so
I'm going to.
Korey has the first turn, Dominic's going to have the last turn.
I'm just going to go make sure they know. I'm sure there's a coach there, but.
And of course, the feature match table is being swarmed. Probably won't even be able to get over there. Alright, it looks like someone conceded. See people putting their cards away. Yeah, I mean, he had higher life, so maybe Dominic just decided he had enough. But yeah, looks like the match is over.
I don't know. Did he concede or something? I guess he conceded. Turn it on. So I was just making sure they were in time. Did Dominic scoop?
Yeah, Dominic conceded, it looks like.
Okay,
so
that's cool. Well, then Korey takes...
Yeah, Korey moves on 1-0. Yeah, I expect him to do pretty good today.
It's a really neat deck.
Yeah, not sure if it'll be like quite good enough to make top 16, but I would not be surprised if we saw him on camera a few rounds.
Oh yeah, we might see him again.